Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to use a mini table saw, specifically the Proxxon Fat table saw. As you can see here, I have my own Proxxon, specifically for dollhouses and miniatures. I've used this saw for tons of projects, including my miniature treehouse, which you can check out in the link below. Before we dive in, let's talk about safety. Now, I've been using this saw for years and still have all my fingers, unlike my husband, who had a little accident. So, ladies, don't be afraid. It's the guys who should worry. All my fingers. So, what you need to do is always use safety glasses and keep your fingers away from that blade. Very important. Use a push stick. If your fingers come too close to the blade, always use a push stick. Now, this one comes with the table saw, but to be honest, I don't use it that often. I usually use an extra piece of wood, one that is shorter than this, and then I push the wood further without the fingers touching, without my fingers nearing the blade at all. I hope you understand what I mean. Then of course, you must unplug the saw before making any adjustments to it. Now let's set up the saw properly. You want to adjust the blade height, which you do right here. Just turn that knob and then the blade goes higher or lower, and the camera doesn't want to fix, but that's okay. I think you can see what I mean. So what you need to do is make sure, I set the blade height just above the material. So it would be actually right now would be great to cut it just like this, just above the wood that you're going to saw. That's the height I would set my blade. Okay, then make sure that the rib fence, what is the rib fence? It's this thing. This thing is the rib fence, so you can let it loose and it goes parallel to the saw blade, so that you can, you have to fix this first. Sorry if I come across as a bit confusing, but I'm trying to explain it. I'm not a professional. And then the wood, you would have to cut it like this, and then the wood goes parallel to the blade. Then you cut it out like straight up. Also, what you need to do is check if the blade angle, of the blade now is straight. But when you're not sure, you can check it with this. I'm not going to move it right now because it's very fixed, but this fixes the blade angle. So you can switch it to have the blade in another degree angle, as if it were. I hope again that you understand what I mean. But that's if needed. Usually I just used the blade like straight up. I don't normally use angles to cut up dollhouse furniture or something. I haven't gone that far yet. Okay, next. What I also wanted to explain is that this saw can do 3 main types of cuts. First of all, a rip cut, which goes along the grain of the wood. So it just follows the grain of the wood. Let's see what's next. So for the rip cut, you just need to use the rip fence, so this thing. Then there's a cross cut, which means that you cut against the grain. And you can use a miter gauge for it. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Sorry for my English, but this is the miter gauge. So you can switch it so that it cuts diagonal, or how do you see it? And then it goes against the grain of the wood. And then finally we have a bevel cut, where you just tilt the blade to cut angled edges. So that's where this comes in handy. You can, this, as I said again before, you can tilt the blade with this, and then you can cut like angled edges, and that is called a bevel cut. Okay, next up, what I wanted to say. Another thing I wanted to say is, if you're working with dollhouses or dollhouse furniture, sometimes you're cutting really thin materials, okay, like veneer or plywood. And if you're working with thin materials, you have to like take your time and use light pressure to prevent splintering, and add masking tape over the cut line to keep edges clear. Also, if you're using plastic, go really slowing, because if you don't, it will melt actually. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you want to keep your saw running smoothly, clean out the dust after each use. Just untie this, and then you can open it up. It's very tight, and that's what's needed. You need to put it tight. And you can just lift it up and fix it. You see, mine is clean. I just clean it out. So yeah, dust it regularly, because otherwise it will, the wood dust will get everywhere. Okay. And yeah, check the parts. Check the parts of the interior like weekly. I would do that weekly. Check up the parts, check if the blade is still nicely attached, and etc. etc. You know, normal maintenance like you would do with every machine. And that's it. That's all I have to explain about this. As I said, I'm not really a professional with this, but I do use it for a number of things, and I didn't have any accidents yet. In the next fragments, you will see how I cut out my outdoor toilet here, fairy garden toilet from bark. You will see the process from start to end, how I used that table saw to cut it out. Also check out the links below to see how I made my treehouse. It's everything here is made with the help of my table saw. So yes, I definitely use it like a lot. Okay, that was it. I will see you again next time, and I hope you understand everything I just told you. Bye bye.